The last thing we want to end with is one of my P.V.R LYFE fans. I won't say his name to protect the innocent. He's a sophomore in high school, so I think he's around maybe 13 or 14 years old. But he had asked me, can you help me? There's this girl that I like, and can you give me any tips or advice on how to talk to her? I'm not saying I've been the most successful guy out there in the dating world, but I've done my thing, I won't go into it, the details today. I'll save that one for another day. But I'm not trying to brag or anything. I'm just saying.
Casanova.
I'm just saying I've read books about it, and I've studied the art of it. There is the art of it, believe it or not. People that have been in the game have dropped so many knowledgeable books on how to do your thing out there in the game. But so many of you kids don't like reading books, so you gotta skip that part and just go out into the field and keep getting shot down and shot down and shot down, and then you get
discouraged.
You get discouraged, or you get lucky one night and you're like, yeah, I'm the man, and then you go out and then there's another drop. My point is there's a lot of good knowledge out there if you choose to seek it and find it. You can learn everything. If that's one of your problems, my man, then you can read books about it and study the art of seduction.
So let's say he's not going to take the time to read these books. What advice would you give him? How should he approach her?
Easy. I want to ask him first because I already know what I'm going to say. I know.
Well, I would hope you know what you're going to say.
I know. But I did not know this when I was his age.
I probably still don't know it.
So I'm about to drop some knowledge, but before I do that, I want to hear what he says.
My advice to this young gentleman would just be yourself. Be genuine. Be honest.
This dude's giving all the politically correct answers.
Of course I am. That's what I do. That's my role on this show. So now, you have to drop the real knowledge.
I'll drop the real. He's giving you what the parents they want to hear. So I have to give you guys the real. The realization is anonymous fan, and I don't even like calling people fans.
Anonymous friend.
Anonymous friend.
Because you're all friends of the show.
Yeah.
You're not fans, you're all friends.
Yeah. I say that for my video because when I was doing my vlogs, I would say fans because you got to imagine you're something. And you're giving people something and they want something, that's why I would say fans. But you guys are all people to me, in the world. So when I say fans, I'm not trying to sound arrogant.
So you're going to give him the real now?
The real.
The real.
The real.
So how is he going to impress this lady? How is he going to be able to pick her up? How is he going to be able to bring her to where he wants to be? What does he have to do?
Here's the real. And as a 13, 14, 15-year-old kid, your brain's not working on this level right now. So this is how you would have to approach the situation, okay? You like this girl for whatever reason. And that's another thing. What is the reason why you like her? Is it her looks? You've heard all your life, I need a pretty girl to have on my arm? Or do you like something more? You see, okay, she could be something more. I know we're only young teenagers, but I can see myself getting married to her, you know what I'm saying? Down the road and having a family with her, That's on a whole nother level. The real is you gotta ask yourself, what is it you want out of this girl that you like? Understanding that first. And then 2, you have to be realistic about your standings in society. And I hate to say that, but it is true. As much as we want to say, oh, well, love should conquer all, and it doesn't matter about how much money this person has, or it plays a factor, Especially, I think, in a sense at that age, when you're teenagers, kids are very influenced by what they have and want, So, and they're thinking on a very ground level, superficial, savage type thinking. What can they offer me?
Yeah,
and
what do they bring to the table?
Yeah, it's hard as a teenager because not necessarily money, because some kids are smart enough to say, okay, this person just doesn't have money, their family doesn't have money, but I'm attracted to them, he or she looks good to me. So you have to be realistic about where you stand in your class amongst all the other boys, that are competing with you for her attention in such this small pool of people.
So in other words, realistically, do you have a shot?
Does he have a shot? I guess he wants to know, does he have a shot? Well, he doesn't want to know. He just asked me, give me some advice on how I can attract her.
But what does he have to do?
That's why that question's hard, because I would have to know some background information about this girl. What is she into? Is she more a nerdy chick? But then again, in high school, sometimes those nerdy chicks, they want the opposite of what they are, so they tend to be more attracted to the jocks, or at the moment the guys that are the popular dudes. So you have to be realistic in that situation too. Where do you stand in your school in that situation?
Are you a cool kid or are you not? basically.
Yeah.
Let's say he's kind of middle of the road. Like, he's not like a nerd, but he's not like the coolest guy in school. But she's one of the more attractive girls on campus.
Yeah.
So how does the average guy pull the baddest one or one of the baddest ones in his class? How does he do it? And what does he do?
He can't. That's Mission Impossible.
So basically, there's no hope. That's what he's telling you.
Sorry, my man.
This was terrible advice.
I gotta keep it real with you,
You just
man.
ruined his kid's life. How does he win her heart?
The reality of it is that you just have to, if you're not one of the most like popular guys, you're gonna have to play the friend role, man, until the time is ready.
You can break out of the friend zone. It takes a lot of effort, but you can break out.
Yeah, you gotta be persistent and consistent and just be around when she needs you. And then once the opportunity is there and you know, she kind of grows fond of you, she gets used to spending a lot of time with you. And then once you take away that time from her, what do you think is gonna happen?
She's gonna want you back.
She's gonna want you back.
Yeah, she's gonna want that time.
So just play that friend zone, and then you just have to keep putting more knowledge in your game about the art of seduction. And then when the time is right, you can read the signs better.
The art of seduction.
Yeah. I think that was
A sophomore in high school.
kids are gonna be like, "Yo, what is the art of seduction? Let's go check that book out."
You better find out.
There's actually a better book than that, I think. Well, here's the thing: I can't say better because I've never read The Art of Seduction. Okay, but I have read this other book, and that one drops a lot of knowledge. Stay tuned; I'll share that title with you guys in the future because the game is to be sold, not to be told. Going back to that question, just be friends, man. If you're not one of the dudes that like you're the most attractive guy in your class, you don't have the most money, you don't have the best shoes on, and these are very superficial things that I'm talking about because that's what it is when you're a teenager. It's very superficial stuff, okay? Because your brains haven't developed enough or have enough.
Oh, even some adults are still like that too. So I mean, I'm not gonna just put it all because on the youth. Even anyway. Continue, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. That's a very good point, you know, and there are so many, and I don't want to alienate any adults out there, but if you feel a certain way about what we're saying right now, it might be you. It might be you. You might be the one that hasn't studied enough to think on a higher level. You know, you might have stayed on the very like superficial, savage lifestyle level. Long story short, books. Read a lot of books. You stay in the friend zone, I guess. You gotta stay in the friend zone and then keep putting knowledge in your brain, and then you'll know when the time is right. You'll be able to read the signs when the time is right. If it takes a long time, you might move on and find your own.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she's not the one.
Maybe she's not the one.
You know,
Yeah.
just keep your options open. Most importantly, enjoy high school, dude. Have fun. Don't get bogged down into one thing and just be tunnel vision on that one thing. Just enjoy your high school career because it's only 4 years. It seems like a long time while you're in it, but once you're out of it, it's like those years were crazy and they were good.
I disagree with his statement about tunnel vision, though. I think you should have tunnel vision in high school and know what you want in high school, and don't let your friends or anybody distract you from getting those.
Yeah,
you know?
career goals, yes. Social goals, no. Socialize with everybody.
Yeah, you should be cool with everybody, and there's a difference between being cool and then spending more time being cool and hanging out with those people than having tunnel vision on your goals.
Well, clearly, if you want to get with her, then focus in, key in on her, but then also know what you're working with too in other areas.
Right. Anyways, we can go on and on and on about this topic, and I'm sure the more we keep doing these podcasts for you guys, the same topics will come up and we'll be able to revisit them and discuss them again, because
I definitely think that your subscribers should send in questions.
Yeah.
You know, and then we'll get into it. You know, if you want to know what he thinks or what I think about it, just send in questions and we'll get there, you know?
I'll put either a link or something to my Twitter. That way you guys can follow me on Twitter and then ask me questions on Twitter. I don't even use Twitter, but I'll do it just for this podcast. And he could do the same, you know, if you want.
Yeah,
sure.
Sure thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, we should do in the initial pilot episode
Like a sign off.
a sign off, you know, but keep it simple. And that should be the end right there, right?
Yeah, right.
We'll end it on that,
green
right
screen.
there.
Bye, green screen.
This is what we've been working with this whole podcast, so it's been fun though, man. It's been real.
Absolutely.
I enjoyed it. So anyways, this your boy Brandon, aka the Burnt Egg Roll. This is the homie.
Jay Uncanny.
Check you guys later. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. All right.
Saucing on you. I'm swagging